Boom. This is a little bit different. It's a little bit different. I don't even know how to intro for any of this. I feel like I was gonna see by the thumbnail or the title of the video what we're gonna be doing, what we're gonna be talking about. I hope the audio clear. I ain't got my mics today, but I feel like since I'm gonna also be starting my podcast real soon, I think this is gonna be very good to do because. By the way, shout out to my boy Jonah. Me and him gonna be running the Youth Unplugged podcast and the Girl Princess. You feel me? We're gonna be dropping videos real soon. Go follow us on all social media platforms. Youth Unplugged. The things down there. It's on same with TikTok, same with Instagram, same with YouTube. It's down there. Go follow up. And it's not down on the video. Like it's down in the description or in the bio, whatever the hell it is. And then yeah, but let's get straight right into the video. I ain't gonna lie, I've come a long way, man. I've come a long way, and I feel like I'm just gonna cover a couple things while I'm just talking and just debating and, seeing where this conversation leads to and all these different things that we're gonna be talking about. But the first one, I didn't even want to start off with, but like, the first one is simply about just life in general, bro. Life in general. I feel like 22 years of life has kind of taught me so much when it comes to like building yourself, finding yourself, understanding particular things that you want to do, things that you don't want to do. Finally reaching that junction in your life where you finally look at your parents and you're like, yeah, my parents were right. We all have those moments where we sit down and remember the stuff our parents were telling us. And you're like, damn, she was right. Like the thing that I remember the most is when my mom always used to tell me, there's always a time to play and there's a time to have fun. Not every friend is gonna be with you till the end. Don't be too surprised when people let you down because they're human and it's a natural instinct for human beings. Like every human being is flawed. So you're going to have moments where they fail you. And stuff like that kind of makes me look like, whoa, that's true. You know what I mean? And another thing, as a young man growing up, that thing of speaking, being able to sit down and actually not look all masculine, not look all tough, but have actual conversations with your boys, with people around you, to be able to sit down and show the most sensitive parts of you, because it also allows you to mature as a human being. It allows you to become someone more. It allows you to become more in tune with who you are, in tune with yourself, in tune with being able to understand what you're going through and what, like all these important things in my 22 years of life, and I think the most important thing so far that I've learned is understanding that you cannot do it by yourself, right? The number one thing that I always tell people is that you must understand where your foundation lies, and your foundation will never be worldly. It has to be spiritual. Whatever religion you may believe in, but that has to be your foundation. It has to be a spiritual foundation, because everything under the sun is spiritual. You don't know, what I mean, where you came from. A whole baby, created in 9 months, a whole world created with all these particular tiny details put in place, and if one detail goes off, like a little fun fact, did you know that if the world even stopped rotating for a second, even 1 millisecond, everything we know it will be swiped away, hurricanes and the world cracking and all these different things. And when you hear information like this, you start thinking to yourself like, ain't no way that happened from a big bang. So a foundation is super important. Having your foundation and growing up from that, being able to look back and say that my strength comes from God, and everything that I allow myself to become, everything that I allow myself to grow into will now develop from that foundation going up. A strong foundation will keep you steady, because even if you build a 10-story building and you fall a couple stories down, you're still going to be good because your foundation is strong. And then you just be able to go up from there. So that's just like one of the most important things. Another important thing that I learned is the ability to let go and restart. That one kind of killed me a little bit, letting go and restarting. That one was something that brought high levels of maturity, because letting go of particular things that you've been so used to your entire life is hard. Kind of let go and just completely restart, and now you go into like all of these things all over again. So, as a young man growing up, that little confused moment, that little patch where you're getting things done, but you don't know exactly what you're doing, but you're getting things done. You're kind of looking at yourself and like, what exactly am I trying to become? I have this idea, but I don't know the exact steps to get to this particular idea. And yeah, man, it's insane. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of us are out of high school. Everybody's now, I can say this with a fact, I can believe everybody is only now starting to figure out who they are, starting to get into their own personal identities because everyone's separated. We've all reached this junction of our lives where we're all separated, and everyone's finishing university. Everyone's starting to work real jobs. Everyone is entering their last years of university. Everyone is now doing this internship and doing that and doing this and doing that. Some people are only now getting into university and all these particular things, and everybody now is in a different country, a different time zone. Like it's crazy that I even know guys who are married, friends who are married, friends who had kids on purpose. You know, like when you look back, you think to yourself like, they got married on purpose. They are having kids on purpose. You know what I mean? So we're all finally understanding who we are now on individual kind of thing. And yeah, man, it's insane. It's crazy, but it's fun. It's fun because what's the point of life with not actually putting yourself through this journey? Like actually not going out there and experiencing new things. Because a lot of things from high school, like I know certain people right now that are in China or wherever they may be in whatever the country they may be in. I bet in high school they never thought about that. They mostly thought about like America or England or all these different things. But now they're in this whole different environment and they took that step going forward. And because of that step, now they're able to now branch out and figure out who they are and start finding different aspects. But yeah, man, it's insane. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, but I feel like I'm gonna do more of this. Obviously, because the podcast on here, start getting used to speaking, articulating myself a little bit better, allowing myself to communicate with people, just voice out my thoughts and opinions on particular things and things like that. I have so many different topics that I want to talk about. I have so many different topics that I would love to talk about, so many different topics that I'm going to talk about, and just branch out and just have, I'm going to mix it. Don't get it twisted. I'm still going to mix it with the vlogs, still what I need to do. But it's also nice for just keep posting content. And my YouTube page is never strictly going to just be mainly about vlogs. It's going to be so many different things. That's what I wanted from the beginning. I wanted it not to have a particular niche, but to just be, there. And yeah. For those of you who are here for the vlogs and the fun times, don't worry, that's still all going to be there. But yeah, man, 22 years of living. It's crazy, though. I feel like I can't wait to reach that. Actually, I don't want to reach there, but that stage where I don't mention my age whatsoever. But when we get there, we'll get there. We'll get there. It's crazy. Shout out to life, though, man. Shout out to life.